Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 454th meeting of Central Delhi Toastmasters Club. If you are someone who struggles speaking in public or isn't confident enough, then let me tell you, you have come to a perfect place. This Central Delhi Toastmasters Club is a platform which provides positive and supportive learning experience to the speakers and helps them develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. On that note, let me call upon the president of our club, Toastmaster Karanveer Singh. He is currently pursuing his bachelor's in technology from IT University and is extremely hardworking and always ready to serve for the club. President.
Thank you. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters in the room and in the virtual room. I hope you all are doing really, really well. First of all, I would like to thank you for coming here, and let's start this meeting with 30 seconds of closed eyes for world peace. Requesting everyone to please close their eyes for 30 seconds. Thank you very much. Sometimes these 30 seconds seem very long, but they are enough to calm all of us down. I would like to ask all of you with a raise of hands, how many of you have in your school days done that experiment where you had a magnifying glass in your hand and you used to concentrate those rays into one paper for burning it? You did? You did? Of course I did. You did not? Okay. I would like a confirmation from the virtual audience if you are able to hear us.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Pankaj. So those lessons from those days, like if we concentrate sun rays onto one single point, those rays are enough to burn the paper. And with all the time flowing through our lives, through college, through job, maybe we have forgotten those concentration of it. How many of you have planned your Toastmaster journey for the next 3 months? Or are you coming here doing your role week by week and expecting something to happen which will improve you immensely? Or are you planning? Well, I had this conversation with a few people in the leadership conclave, which I was a part of a few days back. And it was not just me who did not plan their month, but majority of us did not plan. But there were Toastmasters who knew by the end of 3 months, they want to work on their sales skills. Or by the end of 3 months, there is a politeness factor which they want to include in their lifestyle through their leadership role. Similarly, I would like to ask all of you in the physical audience and the virtual audience both, being a part of Central Delhi Toastmasters, being a part of Toastmasters community, have you considered planning your 3 months or the next 6 months? It's a time of renewal going on, and this is the time when you also need to introspect that for the past 6 months, were you just going with the flow or did you have a plan set in your mind? For me, I had a plan set in terms of my leadership journey, which I did execute, and that is why I am very, very eager to renew my membership. In fact, I was the first one in the club to renew. Not because I was the president that I had to renew, of course, but because I knew, okay, Toastmasters is something which will give me something which I will never get from any other place. And my experience in that leadership conclave where I met leaders throughout Delhi just enforced it a little more. So I would request you all to take some time, sit down, plan your speeches, plan your values which you want to add in yourself, or the skills which you want to polish, and then take up roles, do your role with that intent in mind, and I am sure within the next 3 months you will be a different person altogether. Moving ahead, now I would like to first of all welcome all the guests in the room. We do not have guests in the physical room, but I would like to ask our tech master, please tell me if we have guests in the virtual room.
Yes, we have guest Neeraj first.
All right. Guest leaders, may I request you to please come up on stage, introduce yourself, tell us who you are, how did you come to know about Toastmasters? Guest leaders.
Yeah, so I myself, Neeraj. So I have been working in the tech industry for 2 years in the sales field itself. So recently, like in the new meetings, like in a bigger team, I found that I'm not able to present myself really well. And coincidentally, that day, like in that timing itself, like I was having a conversation with my cousin, and he told me to, it's good you are working, but also join 3 clubs. Like he gave me name of 3 clubs, like Central Delhi Club Toastmaster, and I think there's a Delhi Club Toastmaster also, and other. So Tuesday is my week off, so that's why, and this, like the timing is suitable for me, so that's why I was picking up this club itself. So that's has been journey so far till.
Thank you so much, Neeraj. Welcome to Central Delhi Toastmasters. Glad to know that you are the only person in the club who has a Tuesday off. And we hope you have a great time today. Do we have any other guests?
Yes, we have guest Preetham.
May I request guest Preetham to come on stage and introduce himself? Guest Preetham.
Hello, Toastmaster. Thank you for inviting me. So my name is Preetham Das. I am a user experience consultant. So this is my profession. So today I wasn't able to come and join you on an offline meeting since it's my work. I'm currently working in my company, so I'm talking online. So the core reason I'm reached out to here to build my confidence because I have a presentation to give in the next month. So yeah, this is why I have reached out to gain my confidence, have a public speaking approach, how I can build my public speaking approach, and how I can convince people and talk with them in a proper way. Yeah, this is my approach. Yeah. Thank you. I don't know if it's all right way, but yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Preetham, and I'm glad you chose to come here this Tuesday. And I hope you have a great time today.
Thank you.
Do we have any more guests? All right. Since we do not have any more guests, I would like. Yes, Samkit, do we have any more guests?
No, we don't have anyone.
All right. Thank you. So since this meeting is going to be a little different, as we do not have a table topic segment today, but instead we are having a moment of truth, which is in itself a heavy session for all the Toastmasters. For the guests who are coming here, I would recommend you to participate in it actively, sharing your experience which you have had so far, and it can be a table topic experience for you when you come on stage to present your approach. Moving on next, now it's time for me to invite someone on stage who is very resilient, who is very dynamic, who is versatile in terms of things she does. Not only she is a content creator, but she's also teaching throughout. She is someone who creates content which is worthy not for other people, but also for herself. And that is what keeps her going. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Shanti with our theme, Toastmaster Shanti.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the wonderful introduction. So, what is the beauty of Holi or any other Indian festival to that matter? It is that we all have our own version of cultures, traditions, and not just cultures and traditions, but the way of celebration as well, right? So I thought, let me ask some of our Toastmasters who belong to different regions and see how their celebration is and get to know their stories. So I collected a lot of stories, but I'm sure that I will not be able to share all of them. So I will share a few of them as much as time permits. One of the things that I've heard commonly, and most people have said it, is gujiyas, right? And gujiyas are something that we have our own version in South, but that is something that I have eaten in North for very recently. And I specifically love gujiyas. So yes, since I've been hearing about it for a long time, for the last couple of days, I have this intense urge of having gujiyas myself right at this moment. But the most beautiful tradition, culture that I have heard, which the Toastmaster has told very elaborately, is a 3-day stick festival, which is conducted in a city in Punjab, and it is a 3-day fair where participants they demonstrate their martial abilities in simulated battle. And not only that, they also camp out. The people camp out, and they the whole time they keep playing, they keep listening to music and poetry and kirtan. And this is something that was so beautiful, and I felt like I also wanted to be a part of it. So thank you for the Toastmasters who have shared about this story, and I hope you all feel the same. I will be sharing more such stories, more such beautiful stories from various regions in India. But meanwhile, let us start with the meeting. The meeting is divided into 3 segments. The very first segment is the prepared speeches segment, and this is where the participants are going to give speeches which they have prepared beforehand. And the second segment is the momentous group, which is a special segment for this meeting. So make sure to participate, especially the guests. And finally, we have the evaluation segment, where everything and anything in this meeting is going to be evaluated. So let me call upon a team of auxiliary role players who are going to explain their roles themselves. So the very first role player is Timer Pradyuman. He is the underdog table topic speaker who has won all our heart and all our praise, even in his first ever table topic speech. He is the go-to person if you feel that you are in need of cyber security. And he believes that in this digital world, Holi is one of those festivals which can connect all of us on a deeper emotional level. So let me welcome Timer Pradyuman on the virtual.
Thank you, TM Modi. Holi. Holi. I must say, Holi is a very holy festival in Hindu mythology. Holi is indeed my favorite festival, and I believe you must be able to make that out with my exquisite outfit that I'm wearing today. I thought, why not also dress for the occasion? Well, I believe in a very superficial way. Holi is a festival of colors, and colors bring a lot of meaning and variety to our life. Colors paint our dull and monotonous life with a lot of uncertainty and risks, which somehow we all love. Unless you are colorblind, in which case I'm sorry. Here at Toastmasters, in addition to striving towards being a good public speaker and getting better at tonality and clarity, we also focus on being able to deliver what we want to say, being able to deliver our content in a very short, precise, and sophisticated manner. And to ensure that, here I am today playing the role of your timer. I would be timing your speeches and showing you red, yellow, and green cards during your speech for when you are well on time and if you're going over time. At last, the timing criteria for today's event will be as follows. In the speech segment for the icebreaker, I would be showing a green card at 4 minutes. I would be showing a yellow card at 5 minutes, and I would be showing a red card at 6 minutes. For the other speakers in the speech segment, I would be showing a green card at 5 minutes, a yellow card at 6 minutes, and a red card at 7 minutes. For the speech evaluators, I would be showing a green card at 2 minutes, a yellow card at 2.5 minutes, and a red card at 3 minutes. With this, I would be presenting my final report in the evaluation segment of today's session. With this, I would like to pass on the stage back to the TMOD. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pradeep. The next auxiliary role player is language evaluator Anmol. He is an aspiring graphic designer who is currently pursuing master's. He loves reading and watching movies, and his favorite memory of Holi is going back to the time when he was a kid. He would go out with his dad to collect all the colors, and then he would dump it on people on Holi. So let's welcome Toastmaster Anmol on the physical stage.
Thank you, Timor. So, hi everyone, my name is Anmol and I'll be playing the role of a language evaluator today. Today's theme is Holi, right? So, like Timor said, I used to go out with my dad and I used to pick a color. I used to talk with my dad about colors. So, I used to see there were a lot of mixed colors. Like there were a lot of colors which were bad for the skin, right? So I used to sometimes pick the wrong color sometimes, but my dad told me, you're not supposed to pick these colors. They're harmful for your skin. So you might be wondering why I'm telling you this story. So just like I was picking good and bad colors back then, now I'm picking up good and bad language right now. I believe Holi adds color to each and everyone's life in some way or the other. Just like that, a good language adds value and color to a good speech. So, the word of the day is digress. Digress, in simple word, means to deviate from or temporarily from a certain topic. Examples in speech could be, sorry, I apologize for my digression. What I was trying to prove a point. Or I may digress a little from this topic. Also, I urge everyone in this room and people who have joined us online to use this word in their vocabulary right now or even in their prepared speeches. Also, everyone is requested to show a thumbs up whenever the word digress is used. Okay, so there's another rule that you should follow, which is the medium of speech today is strictly English. If somebody is using, he or she is using any other word besides English, he or she is urged to translate that word in English. And that's about it. Thank you from my side.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anmol. Your speech reminds me of something that another Toastmaster shared, which is that they play Holi with the colors extracted from clouds. That is one tradition that I've got to hear. Sure. And the next auxiliary role player is the R counter, Vedant. He is a chemical engineer from NIT Raipur, and he loves playing with his friends on Holi, and then in the afternoon have gulab jamun that is made by his wife. Let's welcome Toastmaster Vedant onto the podium.
Thank you, Timor. Holi is a festival of color. Also, this is the day which marks the event of the victory of good over evil, when Lord Vishnu protected Prahlad by killing Hiranyakashipu. Right? This is also the day when we meet others, laugh and play with colors, water-filled balloons, and repair our broken relationship. Now, with regard to the theme of this meeting, what adds colors to your communication skills? I guess it's the avoidance of using filler words. Filler words such as like, so, you know, and filler sounds like also, or any other repetitive phrase and the short and long pauses in your speech makes it look a bit dull. So today, I will be noting down the use of filler words and filler sounds, short and long pauses of the members. Members are requested to abstain from using this filler word during the course of the meeting. I will be presenting my final report in the evaluation segment. Back to CMOD.
So now let us start with our first segment of the evening, which is the prepared speeches segment. Our very first speaker for today's evening is Toastmaster Abhishek. But before calling him, let me call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Pooja Bhutisha, from the virtual stage.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Today, I would like to introduce Toastmaster Abhishek Singh, who will be giving his Level 1 Project 2 speech. And the title of his speech is Power for Passion. And the objective of this speech is to understand the speaker's confidence level and his body language. Over to the TMOD. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pooja. Toastmaster Abhishek is a computer engineer who is currently preparing for the civil service examination. His favorite memory of Holi is during his college when he went to the nuclear concert and then he played Holi with all of the crowd. Let's welcome Toastmaster Abhishek to the physical stage.
You allow your passion to become your progress, it will one day become your profession. Because they say that skill is temporary, but passion is priceless. Good evening, everyone. My name is Abhishek, and today I will talk about the theory of passion. In the race of life and death, there's a constant tussle between life and fate, zindagi or kismat. The life sometimes gets fortunate enough to get from fate all the happiness it needs. This is a phase, the mind, the body, and the soul, and perform at their best. After all, happiness is the ultimate goal of your life. But then comes the stage when the fate decides to death, decides to take all that it gave for happiness. And this is the phase when the life searches for it all over, but can't get it back even after multiple efforts. This is the phase where sadness leaves the mind, and the body also changes in life. This is a phase where the test of a desire is at its peak, the most difficult part of a life. And now, when a passion reaches a certain threshold, even the fate says, take all your happiness back. But even I can't stop your passion from desiring what it means. वो कहते हैं ना, अगर जिंदगी में कुछ शिद्दत से चाहो, पूरी कायनात उसे मिलाने में साजिश करती है. And they say, when you really desire something, the whole universe conspires to help you achieve it. They say that when you can't drive your success with hard work, let the passion take the lead, and then you will see that things fall in action without any effort. And so now I have forgotten, but yeah. But does your success definitely has a value without the society? The simple answer to this is no. Without society, your success is nothing but a mere set of dreams. They say to have success, you need to have a social value in your life. and to gain a social value among people you know and also among people whom you don't know, you need to first learn to live in a socially justified environment. And that will teach you the way what success, what society molds you and your success. Without it, your passion, as I said, is a mere set of dreams. It is the society which gives your passion a value and also the reason to thrive for it. Now, how many of you know what is the phase called before achieving your passion? Please answer. Absolutely correct. The word I was looking for is struggle. Yes, struggle is that phase of life when the life tests how dearly, how passionately are you focused on your success and how crazily do you will to sacrifice all the dear things in your life. And but I need to tell that not every passionate person is successful. Do we know why? Because success, the struggle is a one-time experience. And that one-time experience of 2 to 3 years decides how your life will go on for the rest of your life until death. It requires a lot of passion. It requires a sheer amount of dedication. It requires a sheer amount of perseverance. And that amount is so high that most 95% of the people are already out of the game, even just at the basic phase of struggle. And for that, I believe that once whoever crosses the finish line, whenever this experience comes to an end, this phase of stress, this phase of struggle, this phase of anxiety, this phase of low confidence, this phase of low dopamine, and this phase of feeling uncomfortable will definitely seem worth one day. This sense of satisfaction, this sense of accomplishment gives you a reason in life. And that, my friend, one day will make you feel proud and you will stand with your head held high and within you, you will behold the fruits of your passion. That's all I had to say about the theory of passion. Thank you, everyone. I hope you like it.
I must say that was a truly inspiring speech, and I'm sure with the same kind of energy, he is definitely going to stack festivals of the exam. Do you agree with me?
Absolutely.
Yes. Correct. So thank you, and all of you, I would encourage all of you to give feedback on the chat box or even on his personal message. So let's invite the next speaker, which is Toastmaster Sanchit. But before that, let me call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Kavya.
So Toastmasters Sanchit will be giving his level 1 projection speech under the pathway leadership development. And the purpose of his speech is to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply that feedback in his analysis. I wish all the very best to Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kavya. Let me invite now Toastmaster Sanchit, who is a law graduate, and his favorite memory of Holi is at one time he played in a place called Garsane near Mathura, where he played with the locals. So when he played Holi with his locals. So let us now invite Toastmaster Sanchit onto the physical stage.
Master Dev Bhav, Pitra Dev Bhav, Acharya Dev. Have you ever felt a situation when you got stuck somewhere or you were not able to find a way and suddenly God sent up someone to help you out? Yes. In this situation, in my case, I felt though someone who did not only show me the way, but forced me, motivates me to run on that way. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I am going to deliver this speech dedicated to my teacher. I remember when first time I went to my college and I entered in my classroom.
and a teacher came named Deepak Singh, introduced himself. Hi, my name is Deepak Singh and I am from Delhi University. Here I am your teacher and I will be teaching you the contract subject. And he taking introduction of the class. When my turn came, I was too much nervous. I was too much anxious and I said, sir, my name is Sanchit Bhushan and I come from Delhi. Okay, Sanchit, what is your dream? And I copy pasted, sir, I also want to become a judge. Then he said, okay, Sanchit, what do you mean by contract? You want to become a judge, at least you should know what is the meaning of contract. Till then, I started perspiring. And I was, sir, I don't know. Tell me, whatever comes in your mind, don't bother what right and wrong, just tell me. Sir, दो लोगों के बीच का समझौता, that means agreement between the two. Okay, sit down. And on the very next day, he made me the CR of my class. I don't know why. Class representative. Being a class representative, I had some responsibilities on my head, and I was supposed to get 19 out of the 20 marks in weekly test. But my performance was 5, 6, 7 out of 20 marks in weekly test. One day, he called me in the staff room when no one was there, and he asked me, Bhushan, from where have you completed your schooling? Sir, I have completed my schooling from Government Sarvojaya Boys. Oh, and the conversation lasted for 10 minutes, and he said a sentence in last, and that sentence changed my perspective about myself. He said, Sanchit, तू एक दिन बहुत कुछ बड़ा achieve करेगा. And I got stuck for a while, and I think, if he is saying to me, if he is confident, then why should I not? That's the first time when I believe in myself, and that was the first step, the base of my journey in my future as well. The second person came when I was in a 6th semester, named Rima Bhattacharya. She was assigned a subject, constitutional law. She came in class and asked the students, whosoever wanted to write, research a paper in Galgodia University, may raise their hand. And I was too much confident, ma'am. And I got my name registered. I chose a topic which also got registered, and I took a week. After that week, I denied. I cannot write a paper. I cannot research a paper. Why? Because in the week, after spending 5 to 6 hours in a day on that particular topic, I just could only write 15 to 20 lines in a week. That's it. That time I was frustrated, I was busted, I felt wasted, and I was crushed. I was thinking, what should I do? And meanwhile, I also got dengue, and that was my recovering stage when I was not even able to go to the first floor from the ground floor, and I received a call from ma'am. She said, what is the progress of your paper? I said, ma'am, I'm really very sorry. I cannot write a paper. And I was just justifying myself, my reason. And she said 2 or 3 lines. She said, don't justify yourself. If you want to write a paper, then write. If you don't want to write a paper, then don't write. Don't tell me. It's your opportunity. You have to take it. And I would like to tell you one thing. You can write a paper. I know. You will write a paper. I know. I'm always here for the help. I'm always here for your help. Just take first step. I'm here. Don't fear. And that 2 or 3 lines, that time, infused lot of energy in me. Lot of energy. And I, with the collaboration of that ma'am, researched on that topic, prepared that topic, write on that topic, and presented in Galgodia University, where the Chief Justice of India, former Chief Justice of India, Deepak Mishra, was the chief guest. After that, this whole process filled a lot of confidence in me. And it was like I break the very thick wall
I feel too much. I felt too much light that time. And though I did not get any position that time, but I was a winner in my own eyes, and I thank the ma'am a lot. So I would just like to say these simple sayings of a teacher, motivation, moral support can change the life of a student. As I remember one saying of great Acharya Chanakya, the great philosopher, the great economist in India, a teacher is not an ordinary person. A teacher is not an ordinary person. Both creation and destruction play in the lap of teacher. And with the end of this speech, I would like to touch the feet of that teacher who forced me, who beat me to learn these three lines. Matra Devu Bhav, Pitra Devu Bhav, Acharya Devu Bhav. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanchez. If you like his speech, even if you don't like whatever is discriminated he told, just to give him a feedback on the chat, which will encourage him and make whatever suggestions that you want to give. But personally, I have loved the speech. And now let's move on to the next speaker, which is distinguished Toastmaster Sabri Garish. But before calling him on stage, let me invite Toastmaster Ritvik, who is an evaluator.
So, good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Today we have CDTM Sabri Garish giving his L1P1 icebreaker speech from the pathway presentation master, with the speech objective being to introduce the speaker and understand the basic structure of the speech, with the speech title, The Jump. We also have the timer to note that the green card will be shown at 4 minutes, the yellow card will be shown at the end of 5 minutes, and the red card at the end of 6 minutes. And I wish him all the very best. Please put fire on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritvik. Let me now call upon stage distinguished Toastmaster Sabri Girish. He is an officer and a gentleman who fell in love with the power of public speech. He says, according to him, his life has been so colorful that he never needed the colors of Holi to color his life. Distinguished Toastmaster Sabri Girish.
Toastmaster of the day, PM Shanti, and my evaluator, here to pick, my dear Toastmasters and guests. I'm not sure what did you all feel when you were in my shoes at that point of time, when you were just about to deliver your icebreaker. Okay? Afraid? Let me be honest, I'm petrified. Although you can't see, my legs are trembling, my heart is racing, my head is pounding, and the only thing that I want to do at this point of time is to just sit. Is this the first time that I have gone through this? Not really. In fact, I have to take you back to a time when I was just a 7 or 8 year old child. I cannot but forget that. The problem with me then was, I was variously described as a ruffian, a rascal, or maybe my friends called me the street bully. Every other day, there was a complaint to my parents, from the parents of those vulnerable poor things who I housed. And all that came to an end on that eventful day, when my neighbor marched in with his son as the evidence of my delinquency. There were scratches on his head, a black tie, and a brown shirt. That was when my father lost. Till then, he has been trying to teach me the morals and the ethics of good behavior, but nothing had worked. I wouldn't blame him. That day he decided it was time to end. So he caught my hand, dragged me all along the street, up the street, turning to the left 2 blocks, and there we were in the government swimming pool in Toronto. And I was put on the altar of the great swimming coach, Harinder Singh Sandhu, who was very famous for his infamous way of coaching. I stood there, and as I looked at him, I could see up to his knee. And like a mountaineer would look at the summit that he was about to climb, I looked up to see a mountain of mass and flesh. And on top of it were 2 shining eyes looking at me as though he's just the predator waiting to hop upon the prey that I was. Just like a relay race runner would hand over the baton, my father handed over the baton, that's me, to Harinder Singh Sandhu, and there we started another jog all along the length of the swimming pool. At the end of it, started climbing the diving board, not 1 step, 2 steps, at the highest level of the diving board. And before I knew, there I was, standing at the edge of that diving board with only the hell called water right below me and Harinder Singh behind me. I felt the same as I feel now. My legs were trembling, my heart was racing, my head was pounding. And then I heard the command, jump! And all I did was this, no way, no way. There was a poignant silence at the end of which the command doubled. I said, you jump, Girish, and jump now. The command was followed by an appropriate gesture. I could feel the 2 hands of those muscular Harinder Singh on my back, and before I knew, I was floating in the air. Before I started shuttling down into the water, and before, with a flash and a splash, I hit the water. Before I knew, there was water inside me, water outside me, darkness all over, and just as I was about to pass out, I prayed to God, "Hey God, if there is a soul, save my soul if there is a soul." I think he heard it, because before long, I could feel the 2 hands of my coach around my chest, pulling me up from the water, taking me up there. And when I reached the surface, I was born again. And at that point of time, I still remember the first thing I saw was Harinder Singh looking at me with a smile on his face, gently patting my cheeks and saying, "Well done, you are a brave boy." My dear Toastmasters, all I have to remember this and appeal to you is this: that fear is the only thing that you have to fear about. And therefore, let me tell you, as I take my baby steps, I will certainly hesitate. And it is you all who have to give me that nudge or a push. I will certainly fall. I will request you, beseech you, to hold my hand so that I can get up from where I fell. And at the end of it, good or bad, it would be great if you could just pat my cheek and say, "Well done, you're not bad." So,
So that was a standing ovation for the icebreaker speech. It is probably the best icebreaker speech that we must have heard. So do send feedback on the chat room or on his personal message. And now, before we go on to the next segment, let me ask the testing master to launch the poll for the best speaker.
We will have the poll later.
Okay, so let's start the second segment. Okay. So the next segment is the Moments of Truth, which, like I said, is a special segment for today's evening. For this, I call upon Toastmaster Karandeep Singh on the physical stage and Toastmaster Gajendra Sai on the virtual stage. Toastmaster Karandeep, he is someone who loves to make the best of everything. He is currently in his engineering. He loves to talk about food and technology. And his favorite memory of playing Holi is during the time when he was staying in hostel. And he, along with all of his friends, would pull out everybody and they would all play colors together, throwing water balloons on each other. Toastmaster Gajendra Kare is a Toastmaster since 2014, and he is currently serving as the Area Director of Division B, Area 2, and is the past president of CDTM. On Holi, he loves to enjoy with his family and friends, and he also loves to eat with them. Let me call upon Toastmaster Karanveer and Toastmaster Rimit.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Can we have a huge round of applause for her? Greeting fellow members. We are in the second segment of this meeting, which is a different from the usual meeting, and it's called the Movement of Truth. Shall we continue? Yes. So I have my fellow Movement of Truth master, Toastmaster Gajendra Kare, joining us in the virtual room. Toastmaster Gajendra, can you say everyone hello, please?
Hello. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you so much. Okay. Coming to what Movement of Truth actually is. For some of you who might be new to Toastmasters, and for someone who has already attended a number of Movements of Truth, this Movement of Truth is the Movement of Truth for any club which is operating under Toastmasters International. To assess the quality of a club, is the club doing fine in terms of education, membership, PR, and various other departments? The Toastmasters has given some parameters on which all of us need to analyze the club. The parameters for the virtual audience are on your screen, and for the audience in the physical room, I am sharing these parameters with you group-wise. As you can see on screen, there are 6 different departments on which we all are going to analyze and score our club. This exercise is done by the members itself so that the EC comes to know how the club members feel about the quality, and this will also serve as a feedback for us, the EC members. So the first department is called the first impression. This is for a club, the guests who come to a meeting, and how is their experiences. So that is what happens in the first impressions department. All right. All good. Thank you. So the second department which we are going to talk about is the membership orientation, in which we talk if the member who has just joined the club has he or she onboarded well enough or not. For someone who has come to the Toastmasters community for the first time, he or she needs to know about Toastmasters, what Toastmasters offers. So is the club doing that? So third point is fellowship, variety, and communication, where we talk about if the members, how the guest experiences with the members, if the VP education is playing a very valuable role, and as a club meeting, how wonderful, how collaborative, how creative we are in our meeting, and how does it enhance the goals or the values of the members. The fourth one is program planning and meeting organization. How are things done? Are the agendas released on time? Are things planned or not? Membership strength, that is for the membership department, where we have healthy number of members in our club so that we have varied experiences and learning from everyone. And the last one is achievement recognition, where if the club members are recognized or not. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to divide all of the members, including the ones in the virtual room, into 6 different groups. So here's how we are going to do it. So we have made a representative or a head for each department, and each department will sit down, rate the club on different parameters from 1 to 5. If you think we did well, rate us 5. If you do think that we didn't do anything, rate us 1. And also, if you give 3 or less points to any parameter, what you need to do is you need to write down what is the possible cause of the situation. For example, a parameter could be, do we organize creative table topics? So for one member, it can be yes, we have interesting table topics. For other member, it can be no, because he or she might have seen in some other club table topics being conducted in a even creative way. So write down those points. Tell us why you gave that score 3 or less, and what is the possible outcome? What is the possible solution? So that is how this exercise has to be done. Are we clear with it? Toastmaster Vijendra, is there something you would like to add on?
Yeah, actually, Karan, you have covered everything. Just to before proceed with this, I think Karan has explained everything very clearly. So anyone could answer me like, what are the movements? Any one of you. We are coming across a lot of movements in our life, isn't it? Anybody could answer. So suppose I could not hear any response. See, the moments of truth, there are either regions to celebrate, or the results, which are maybe the good results or maybe the bad results. Could be the good moments or could be the bad moments in your life. So for the club perspective, when we are into Toastmasters club meetings, then we have certain experiences as a member. When you enter the room, whether room is set up professionally or guests are converting into a members, guests having very exciting experience of the meeting, whether they are developing themselves or they are achieving their professional and personal goals, and what are their interaction with the other fellow Toastmasters. So all these things we are coming across on day-to-day basis at club level when we are doing our meetings. There could be n number of regions, as Karan has rightly said. Then we have to rate our activity in the 6 different groups which are touching all the areas of the club. It may be from the BP education, BP membership, PR, and all such things, that you would be divided into 6 different groups. That is very rightly said by our fellow Toastmaster Karanveer. I just would like to give certain examples, like what could be the situation, any situation. Suppose if you are planning a meeting and members are not coming. If members are not coming, they are not joining as a guest. Or maybe you are delivering a speech and you think then we have not got the feedback properly. Or there could be a situation when you are doing pretty much but you are not appreciated. You have assigned a mentor, but if you think then my mentor is not helping me, and then you are dissatisfied. There could be n number of situations by which you can rate yourself, your club, and then, as Karan rightly said, then you can find out the root cause. What is the root cause of the problem, and then provide the possible solution if you rate below than 3. So I think everything is understood. Now Karan will divide yourself, whether those who are joining virtually or physically, then he will divide in the 6 different groups equally, and then you can rate. And I would like to add on, then once you decide and do this exercise, one of the representative from each group, and then come forward and then tell why he is rated below than 3, and if he's rated good 5 or 6, then why you have rated this. So if club members agree to that, then we will take that feedback forward and consider as a moments of truth for today's meeting. Over to you, Karan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vijendra, for adding that. Now, what we are going to have is, we are going to have 3 groups in the physical room and 3 groups in the virtual room. Toastmaster Samkit will help me with the breakout room.
Karan, you can allow me to enter into the breakout room so I can check them, whether they are discussing, if they have any query.
Sure. So the first department is going to be the first impression, which is to be headed by Toastmaster Samkit. And I'd request Toastmaster Samkit to add guest Neeraj, guest Preetham, and Toastmaster Ankit Tomar with you in that group. For the first impression, guest Preetham, guest Neeraj, and Toastmaster Ankit Tomar. Coming to the group number 2, which is the membership orientation. which is to be headed by Toastmaster Ratwik. I request you to take 3 members from this room, except for the group leader, to complete this group. Toastmaster Ratwik. For the next department, which is the program planning. Program planning and meeting organization, I would request Toastmaster Sanchit to head the group and score us on this page. I would request you can have 4 people each. All right. I would request Toastmaster Navya to help the virtual group of the membership strength. You need to join using your device. I'll give you another device and then you can conduct the meeting there. For the last group in the physical room, which is fellowship, variety and communication, here's the handout and it will be headed by Toastmaster Ankit Sinha. Toastmaster Ankit.
Toastmaster currently, we even have Toastmaster Sameer and Toastmaster Anmol with us in the meeting.
All right. Hold on for a second.
Seven people are left on the virtual stage.
All right. Samkit, what would I request you to do is, so you need 3 groups there. First impression. The second one would be membership strength headed by Navya. And third is achievement recognition. And may I request Toastmaster Joy to head it. Is Toastmaster Joy there?
Yes, I am here.
Sure. So, Samkit, may I request you to put everyone in the breakout room. The Excel sheet for MOT online is available in the group, so you can get it from there. You need to just submit the score and present your reports.
Toastmaster Karmi, Toastmaster Navya.
For virtual, there is an Excel sheet, so you can fill that respective areas. You can rate in the Excel sheet second page, I think, right? A scoring sheet.
Toastmaster Correct, could you tell me where the Excel sheet is? Is it on the WhatsApp group or is it in the Zoom?
I can forward in the chat group. Let me just check it. Joy, I have posted in the CDTM group. You can take it from there. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you can, those who are virtually virtual teams, they can use this sheet in their respective area where they have to rate.
And just for clarification, Gajendra, what group Am I leading all three on the virtual, or?
That Karan has made a team. You would be leading only one and two others would be led by Karan. Can you tell me, tell Joy, what are three virtual teams and who is leading those teams?
All right. So the first virtual team is the first impression led by Toastmasters Samkit. Second one is the membership strength led by Toastmaster Navya. And third one is achievement recognition led by Toastmaster Joy. You will have 10 minutes to discuss.
So Joy, okay, Joy, so you have to fill the achievement and recognition part, and Nabya will be filling the membership strength and first impression as current role. Yeah, accordingly.
Toastmaster, I still don't have Toastmasters Navya in the meeting. I need to have the breakout room.
Yes, she will join. Meanwhile, you can create the breakout room and assign others.
Yeah, create the breakout room.
Hello, Samkit.
Hi, Karanveer. This is TM Joy joining back from the breakout room. We finished our session and we are ready with report whenever you all call upon us.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joy. We'll be starting again in 1 minute. All right, guys, we are starting again. I hope everyone is done. Darshan, can you please set the audience view from there? Thank you very much. I hope the members in the virtual room have also returned from the breakout room. Vijender sir, can you please confirm? Toastmaster Vijender, can you hear us?
Yeah. Actually, I think there people have returned back to the main room. Yes.
All right. So we will get started one by one. First, I'll request distinguished Toastmaster Sabari Girish group, Toastmaster Sanchit, who will be representing from your group. All right. So your group was program planning and meeting organization, in which you discussed about how things are planned in advance and executed. I'm sure you would have some suggestions. I would request Toastmaster Sanchit to come on stage and present his group's view.
So, program planning and meeting organization. First is program and agenda publicized in advance. We, my group, have come to the common consensus and write 5 marks to. Second, members know program responsibilities and prepared to carry out all assignments, 4 marks. Third, all the projects are from Pathways and Toastmaster Education Program, we mark 5. Fourth, meeting begin and end on time, mark 5. Fifth, creative table topics and activities, we gave 3 points. Now there are some suggestions. Topic should be more creative, like it should be general, not in a question form. For example, blue sky, colors, so that the speaker have a wide scope to speak on his own perspective, by his own perspective. And there must be more activities beyond the usual and ordinary meeting. Fifth point, positive and helpful evaluation. We give 3 points, and the suggestions is evaluation must be precise. And if there is any recommendation, then an evaluator must tell the speaker what can be done. What should be your step? So, means what is your what can be the things which can be correct, and he also show the things so that the speaker can do the next time or correct it next time. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanchit. May I request Toastmaster Vijayendra to call on a group from the virtual space now?
Virtual, who is leading the team of first impression? So they can present. So now, yeah.
Toastmaster Vinjay, I was leading the team, but Toastmaster Ankit would like to represent our team.
Okay, so Ankit, you can go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yeah, Ankit, yes. Ankit, you are.
Yeah. In first impression, greet each guest at the door, introduce the guest to officers and members. We rated 5 in this. And in second point, give each guest a name tag. Ask the guest to sign the guest book. This also 5. And third point, set up professional looking meeting room. In this, we gave 4 points. And fourth one, ensure the meeting location is conveniently located, accessible, and the meeting room is clearly marked. In this, we gave 5 marks, but one suggestion that location, everything else perfect. But location, I have some doubt to that one of my group member. So we will look at this point. And next point, encourage guests to participate in the meeting and to comment on their experience at the end. In this, we gave 5 marks. And last one, invite guests to join the club on the day they visit. That also 5. That's all.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ankit, for that report. May I now request Toastmaster Ritwik group to present their report and scores.
Guys, we are back again. Well, I have my counterpart also accompanying me in this regard, and let's start with her.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Malvika. So we had the topic of membership orientation, which is in order to offer members the greatest benefit from the Toastmasters experience, the club must acquaint new members with the education and recognition programs and make members aware of the club's responsibility to them and their responsibilities to the club. So I'll read out the standards and you give the marks and the recommendations. So the first one was formal induction, including presentation of membership, pin and manual.
So the group has given the marks 4 for this, and the suggestion will be to make it 5 the next time. Distribution of certain videos, personalized videos of how to log into Basecamp and look into the manuals, and what is the first pathway advantages, developments that can happen in everyone's personality because of the pathway. For example, for someone who wants to become a leader, we will be suggesting with them leadership development. So this is something which is vaguely said, but it's not, maybe not, manual is not read properly. So we can work forward on that, especially if we will be coming up from the education department, headed by me for the time.
Next is assignment of members.
So the lack of time to some of the members is one of the causes because of which we have given this a 3 marks. And suggestion would be monthly award for the best mentor. Maybe that's something which we can formulate and assess its feasibility, and on which we can actually give an incentive to make it 5 the next time.
Next parameter is education programs and recognition of system discussed.
So reading manuals as mentioned is the first standard, as well as setting of goals for 6 months, for the next 6 months, and for the next 1 year is something that we can look forward, and because we have given it a score of 4, and we want to make it 5 the next time, so you will give suggestions.
Next standard is learning needs assessment.
So we have given this mark of 4, and the suggestion will from our side of the group
to make this by the next time, which is get an efficacy for the BCS for assessing and giving shortening and giving relevant rules. For example, some people face problems with stage fear, so giving them rules which are impromptu and also takes a lot of time may help them come out of stage fear. So relevant rules regarding the fear that someone has.
Next standard is discuss accommodation for members with disability.
Due to the fact we are not having any member with disability in our club, we have let it as none.
Next is speaking roles assigned.
We are given a score of 4, and I have to say something about this. There are clubs outside this domain of our club itself which have vacant speaker roles. So let's have this thing, the ones who are willing to give speeches, let's have 2-3 speeches done already, so that any of the vacancies that I am notified in outside club where I can send them there, which will improve the network, and at the same time will do justice to their roles too. At the same time, we should also keep in mind only 36% of our club are into completing their speech levels. So what about the others? So we've got to have be more equitable in this access, equitable in this process, and let's now go forward to make it fine the next time.
So the last standard is members involved in all aspects of the club activity.
So delegation of work. So let's also remember that this is not a club for only improving your communication skills, but to also make us leaders. And for that, delegating work into under different departments and taking up easy roles is also very important for the ones who are having time and do not face the problem of quantity of time. With all that being said, I believe this 4 of 4 will reach out 5 the next time. With all that being said, thank you very much. That was all from us.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritwik, for presenting your group. May I now request Toastmaster Jitendra to call the next group from the virtual stage.
So who is leading the members' strength? Nabya, I think. So you can take lead and
sure.
represent.
So Toastmaster Nabya, stage is yours.
Okay, so Pooja and I, we were in the same group, and membership, our group was membership strength, and the first criteria was club has 20 or more members. We have given the score 5. Then members are retained. The score given was 5. Then the promotion of the club in community or within its organization, it's also 5. And the club program, varied and exciting, that is also given the score 5. Then Toastmasters sponsoring new members recognized is also given the score 5. And the last criteria was regular membership building program is also given the score 5. And I am personally working in the membership department, so I can say that the department is doing quite well. We have added quite a few members, and the variety of clubs has increased, and we have a diversity of people from different backgrounds, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Navya. May I now request Toastmaster Ankit to send someone to represent their group for fellowship, variety, and communication. Toastmaster Vedant.
Okay, so we had the fellowship, variety, and communication this area, and in this the club retains members by providing a fun, friendly, and supportive environment that encourages enjoyable learning. In this, the first was guests greeted warmly and made welcome. We have given 4 points here. There, we think that there can be some improvement because the guests were not briefed about the agenda of the meeting of that particular day. So that's the recommendation. The second one we have is enjoyable and educational meetings planned. We have given a score of 3. And here the recommendation is that we can organize the keynote speakers and a bit of modules. And the third one we had was regularly scheduled social events. In this, we have given a score of 5. Because here the thing was that because of COVID, it was not possible to organize the to meet outside in a social environment. So that's the reason. The fourth one was members participate in area, district, and international events. We have given a score of 4 here because most of the members they don't have an idea about the area or district or international events. Yes, we are informed about this event, but we are not properly briefed about it, like what we have to do, or how we have to present ourselves in that event. The fifth one was inter-club events encouraged. We have given a score of 5. In the last session, we had, I think, 2 inter-club events, which can be increased to like every month if it's possible. Then it's a much better thing to do. The sixth one was club newsletter or website published and updated regularly. We have given a score of 4 here because we do have a club newsletter, but we lack in the website. We don't have a website, I believe, which is particularly more updated with the day-to-day events or the weekly events of the club. So that's all the recommendations from our side. Thank you.
So the last, yes, achievement and recognition by Team Joy.
Hey guys, it's wonderful to see everyone back in action in person, and I have certainly enjoyed our attempts to keep it a hybrid meeting. It is fantastic to see you all interacting with each other. Today's meeting has been different. We are missing the fun table topics section, but I know this is important to do. So let me digress for just a moment and narrate my incident. I have attended some personal meetings, and when I used to tell jokes in the in-person meeting, I used to get a lot of laughs. But on Zoom, I haven't gotten a lot of laughs back. So one day I asked President Karanveer what might be the case. Karanveer looks me straight in the eye and says, "TM Joy, you are not remotely funny." So having said that, let's get back to the business part of this thing. Achievement recognition. Send award applications to world headquarters and apply for awards online immediately when members complete educational requirements. We gave it a 4 because I think we let the members kind of do their own record keeping and follow-ups. For some new members who are not used to this, it may be better to have someone from the EC or club designate who follows up if someone has completed a level to encourage them to take the next step. So level 4 on that. Maintain and post member progress charts in every meeting. This is not something I have seen being done on a regular basis. Both me and my fellow member in this breakout room, if there was a way to keep statistics of and metrics of how the member is progressing, either online or in the physical space when we are meeting, kind of a binder in which a person can quickly look. I'm sure it's available online on an individual basis, but on a club basis, that may encourage people to follow their progress and each other to encourage someone who may be lagging behind after a while. The next 3 points got a 5 from my group. Formally recognize member achievements. I think it has been an excellent job. Especially, I would like to commend TM Sparshita Verma, who has been maintaining a records of the meeting, and she very clearly mentions member achievements in that. Kudos to her. Recognize club, district, and international leaders. We as a club do a fantastic job. We are lucky to have folks like Deepak Menon in our group who are recognized and distinguished Toastmasters. So I think we did a great job. Publicized member and club achievements, once again, with newsletters and meeting summaries. I think we have done very well, especially with the new EC coming in a couple of months ago. The last one was use of distinguished club program for planning and recognition. I have been a member for 5 months. I was not aware of this distinguished club program. So maybe we can do a better effort of publicizing what this thing is. That is the summary of my breakout room. And before ending, I would like to remotely throw everyone some color for Holi, and happy Holi, everyone. Back to you, TM Karamveer.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Joy, and thank you very much to all the members for doing this exercise. The results of this exercise will also be shared in the group, the scores which we have taken, and of course, the feedback which you all have given will be taken care of and implemented in the coming meetings for now. There are some specific points which I would like to highlight. One of them being that only 36% of our members have submitted a level completion in the past 1 year. That is from starting of July 2021, only 36% of our members, that is only 15 out of our 46 members currently have submitted the level completion. That means either you are not giving speeches or either you are not filing, and none of which is encouraged. You are here in Toastmasters to improve your communication skills. Maybe this is a reminder for you to take the baton in your hand again, make the best use of this platform and complete your level. Another point which I would like to highlight would be that some members do have this idea or notion that Toastmaster is something where we go every Tuesday for 2 hours, do something, and then that's over. Maybe this notion of yours is not true. And why is this not true? The answer would be, you need to ask them. Ask it from someone who has been a member for 2 or more years in the club or outside the club. Maybe you can text Toastmaster Deepak Menon or me or Ritvik or Shivangi or Toastmaster Ankit or Gajendra, or maybe even distinguished Toastmaster Sabari Giri, who has been a member for many years. Ask why this is not a weekly thing and what more it has to offer to all of you. Having said that, I would request my fellow MOT master to please add on and let's wrap this session up. So
I would not take much of time because we are also running late. But I have listened in only one area where, so first of all, I would like to congratulate CDM to excel in all the areas. So give a huge round of applause for your club and yourself. Second thing, because evaluation is rated 3 and I have little some recommendations, because this is the thing and this is in area where we are improving upon. So you can plan the evaluation in such a way where according to the speeches. So then if a speech is given at level 5 or level 3, then you have to search and evaluate those who have already completed that. That's number one. You would be able to give the feedback in a proper way. Second thing, it would revolve around the project objective as well. And then people who have completed at least 5 to 6 speeches, you can assign the evaluation to them. So that is only the one piece of recommendation I would like to give. And congratulations to all to have a wonderful MOT, and definitely you would have a nice experience altogether. CDTM is a wonderful club and I have witnessed that. So amazing. Thank you very much, and over to you, Toastmaster.
It's now time to hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day. Due to paucity of time, we won't be having a short break, but we will have this opportunity to network once the meeting is over in a few minutes from now. Thank you very much. Over to Toastmaster.
So yes, I hope you all had a good time participating and collaborating with your fellow Toastmasters for this event to take place. I have another story to share. In Rajasthan, a Toastmaster shares with me that there is a community event where people gather together to play musical instruments and play songs related to Holi. And this event is called Chant. And in Bihar, people go all along the village. They keep playing with colors, and each house they serve a dish. Here we see a kind of community feeling that Holi gives with all of us. And I'm sure that Toastmasters is also one such platform. And to be able to assess what it has to offer will definitely improve what it is already offering. With that, let me go on to the next segment, which is the evaluation segment. For that, I will call upon Toastmaster Darshan, who is a final year triple student from Indraprastha University. He is currently serving as the treasurer for CDTM, and his hobbies are photography and music. He loves to bring on the drums and dolls along with his friends and play and dance to the beat of the music, and then play color, and of course, finally to eat gujia. Welcome Toastmaster Darshan.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. I was looking at my watch in my phone that MOT was about to end at 8:17 and we are already late. So I'll come to that. Well, let us move on quickly. General evaluation segment. People of Toastmasters, guests in the virtually from the Zoom. This is a segment which is really important one in the Toastmasters meeting. It evaluates the meeting from the start to the end. You have spoken as a president, as a SA, as a speaker, did as a evaluator. Now the TMOD is also done. The segment of MOD is also done. Now how well it has gone. How will you get to know? You must be evaluated on that so that you get to know that how much better can we do in the future meeting. So this is the evaluation segment, and I welcome you all. We'll start this evaluation segment. I have divided this in three parts. The evaluators, the speech evaluators will be called first. Then the auxiliary role players will be called for the reports. And then I will evaluate the whole of the meeting from the start of the essay till the end. So let us call the first evaluator of Toastmaster Abhishek Singh, and the evaluator is Toastmaster Pooja Kotecha from the virtual stage. So Toastmaster Pooja, the stage is all yours.
Toastmaster Abhishek Singh, with his speech Power of Passion, I think the speaker was very motivated and started on a very energetic note. The speaker started with a very beautiful quote. It said that skill is temporary and passion is permanent. I couldn't have agreed more. That was a very beautiful quote, and I can completely relate to it. Also, the flow of the speech was very good. It was engaging. Not even for a second I was distracted. I felt like listening to him. It was quite a great speech. The speaker used great hand gestures throughout the speech. Also, he used very motivating quotes throughout the speech, which was very inspiring. And it was wonderful how he kind of used the Hindi quotes and then translated them in English for everyone to understand. And also, very beautifully, he engaged the audience. The speaker engaged the audience by asking questions like, "How passionate are you about success?" and few more questions that kept the audience engaged. And it was also ended on a very motivating quote. Overall, a great speech. I quite enjoyed listening to Toastmaster Abhishek. There's always a scope to kind of improve your speech, and for a second, it felt that the speaker was kind of nervous when he mentioned that he forgot his speech and he needs to refer to it. I felt that even though he had forgotten his speech, he could have just gone with the flow and not mentioned about it. He was doing great at it, and that's all. Overall, a great speech, great start. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pooja, for that evaluation. We'll get back to you later part. Now, the second evaluator for the Toastmaster Sanchit Bhushan is Toastmaster Navya. Will evaluate him. So, Toastmaster Navya, the physical stage is yours.
Okay, so Toastmaster Sanchit gave his level 1 project speech. I would congratulate him for giving his second speech today. He started the speech in an innovative way where he gave a quote in Hindi, and that was really nice. Then I personally liked the speeches where the speaker used some incidents of their personal life which has really impacted them. So that the speaker did, and he mentioned an incident where his teacher motivated him, gave him moral support for, and which actually changed his perspective towards situations. And then the one thing that was really positive was that the speaker was really confident throughout his speech, from the beginning till the end. He was really confident. He had an energetic voice throughout. One thing that could have been done was the use of stage. He could have used the stage more properly. And another thing was, since we are in a hybrid mode, so he could have given eye contact to the virtual audience as well, which was not given. And which is not nice because the virtual audience are also there in the meeting. So I think otherwise the speech was really good, and I loved listening to his speech. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Navya. Now the final speaker is Toastmaster Girish, and to evaluate him, we have Toastmaster Ritik Dash. The critical stage is all yours.
Thanks for the recognition, GE. So, congratulations, DTM Communication, for successfully fulfilling all the speech objectives that you had, introducing yourself, some of your aspects of your life, and also understanding the basic structure of a speech, with which you had both introduction, a body, and a conclusion to it. First of all, kudos to you for using the speaking area also handsomely, with a great use of hand gestures, voice modulation, and the play of pace and spark. For example, I'm not sure what you could feel. So coming near the stage, using hands towards the audience and raising, lowering the voice. Voice modulation, going forward, movement, showing the hands. Great. Leg is trembling, you are showing the leg. Heart is raising, head is pounding. The use of hands pointing at the different body parts to show greater aspects of what you meant actually, which was as if the audience was at the particular phase where you were explaining it. That is just really good. Disappear. Next, as the mountaineer looks at the summit. So you were using hands, raising up the voice, showing the masculinity of the mountaineer when he looks at the summit. So raising a voice, showing a hand, great use of hand gestures and moderation again at the same time. Not only that, gently patting the cheeks, lowering your voice, and also using out of sense of humor. For example, you called them the parents of vulnerable things, the ones who used to bully. They use a sense of humor too. But because in Toastmasters, we do not believe in only giving speeches, good speeches, we believe in making these speeches better the next time. So to add impetus to your speeches, maybe while you were saying, scared, afraid, you could have said like this, scared, afraid. So the trembling voice, and also using the hands to show that you are trembling. Not only that, you were always standing like this, your elbows were in. Let me tell you, you can actually spread it to show the confidence. For example, even this is a recommendation for some other teams also. Standing with the chest out, head straight. Maybe sometimes you can also like look it out like a bit with a 45-degree angle, sometimes, not always, and spreading it out, something like this. Not only that, wide arms would have been better, and maybe a role play of both coach, Mr. Sandhu, and yours when we were having a conversation. The role play would have added dimensions to your speech. So to summarize, great use of speaking area, voice clarity, hand gestures, sense of humor, movement towards the near the stage, play with pace and power, and to add icing on the cake, a role play, maybe a trembling voice in a certain part, and wide use of hands and shoulders would have made it way better. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vice President Education, for that wonderful and comprehensive evaluation. Now we'll know the ballot for who was the best among them. So we have for you Toastmaster Ritik, Toastmaster Pooja, and Toastmaster Navya. The link has been sent in the WhatsApp group. So you just have to click on the link and you will be redirected to the WhatsApp chat. So from there you can check that who was the best among you, amongst the evaluators, and vote quickly. You will just given 10 seconds for that, and after the 10 seconds you have to raise your hand so that you have voted for the best evaluator according to yourself. So I'll start the countdown. So please tell if somebody is not in the physical group from the virtual audience also. I request the virtual tech master to please take care of that. Toastmaster Samkit, if anyone is not in the group, please let us know. Okay, so a few of the members not in the group. I request the Mr. President to please add them or give them the chat. Yeah, in the online the WhatsApp link has been shared in the chat box of Zoom. So please join that. So you can write on your presentation. All right, so I think everyone is done from the online members also. All right, for the physical audience, okay, write down in the chat and I will. All right, this can also be done. You will hide it. All right, so we have to be quick due to the time constraint. I'll start the countdown now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You can continue that. Let us move on. Now it's time for the auxiliary role plays so that they can present the report. The first auxiliary role play is timer, Toastmaster Pradyuman. Toastmaster Pradyuman, the virtual stage is all yours. Please present your timer report.
Thank you, General Evaluator.
We are not able to hear you, Pradyuman. Can you hear you? Please unmute. Pradyuman, you are on mute. Please unmute yourself. We are not able to hear you.
Am I audible?
Yeah, now you're audible. Please go ahead.
So, as for the prepared speeches, for the icebreaker speech, CDTM sub-ratio was well within time with 5 minutes 46 seconds. For TM Abhishek was well within time with 5 minutes 15 seconds. TM Sanchit was on time with 6 minutes 42 seconds. As for the moments of truth, everyone was able to deliver some very good truth bombs within their time limits. As for the speech evaluators, TM Ritik was well within time with 3 minutes 6 seconds. TM Pooja was within time with 1 minute 59 seconds, and TM Navya was within time with 1 minute 36 seconds. With this, I would like to hand on the stage back to the junior evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that crisp and brief report. Now it's time for the language evaluator, Toastmaster Anmol Isar, to present his report. I welcome Toastmaster Anmol to the physical stage. And the stage is all yours.
Hi. So, some of the words. Okay. So, some really good use of words. I saw some really good use of words from our speeches. For words like seep, socially deficit, perseverance, perspiring, busted. Also more words like I can't say. Baby steps, besiege, ruffian, rascal, vulnerable things, delinquency. All these words were really great use of words and vocabulary. On the other side, there were some little marginal errors that needs a little bit of improvement. Like instead of in one Toastmaster speech, instead of saying touch this feet, it should have been said touch the feet. Like these are basic grammatical errors that need to be improved. Like if it says I also want to become a judge, it should be I want to become a judge. Also, there were also two sections I noted. One was two Hindi sections, right? One was translated from English to Hindi, which is kudos to that Toastmaster who did it. The other one, it could have done better, but it is what it is. Other than that, there were some really nice use of idioms or words like sentences. I don't know, like mountain of mass and flesh. Famous in his infamous ways. These were really great uses of words and how experimentation with words. Also, about the word of the word of the day, the only Toastmasters who I've seen noticed who has done it is Toastmaster Joy. So kudos to Toastmaster Joy, and I urge other Toastmasters to sort of keep use more of these words, which are in the next meeting. So with that, I say thank you and back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anmol, for that your report. Now, the final auxiliary role play, that is Toastmaster Vedant, the counter for today's meeting. Toastmaster Vedant, I want you to come to the screen. And physical stage is all yours. Please present your. Thank you, General Evaluator. So first, TM Abhishek fumbled one time. He used the sound 2 times, and he used the filler word so 1 time. TM Sanchit used the sound 2 times, and DTM Sabri fumbled 1 time in between. Otherwise, it was flawless. TM Pooja Koteja used the filler sound 3 times and R 1 time. TM Navya used the filler sound 4 times and she fumbled 1 time in between. And TM Ritvik was flawless. So that's all from my side. Back to General Evaluation. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vedant, for that great report. Now it's time for the prizes to be launched for who was the best auxiliary role player among the 3. So the polls are again on your WhatsApp groups, and please do the same process again. Vote for the best auxiliary role player who was the best among you. Please take part in this democratic process. Whosoever is not in that group, I request the physical tech master and the virtual tech master, please send the chat in the, please send the group link in the chat. All right. So whosoever is not present in the group and could not able to find how to enter, write them in the chat so that we can take their vote. So I'll start the countdown now for the 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.5, 9:45, 9:59, and 10. Okay, thank you. Now we're done with the two parts of this evaluation. We're done with all the reports from the evaluators, evaluations from the speech evaluators and from the auxiliary role players. Now it's time to evaluate the whole meeting. So are you ready? Yes. Oh, just why 1 year? Come on. So this is centrally Toastmasters. Why not so much energy? Come on. Yes. Are you ready? This is the spirit. Now I have 10 minutes to go. And in this 10 minutes, I'm going to make your hands a heartbeat move. So be ready with that. Well, from my perspective, Toastmasters is not just a public speaking, leadership, or networking club. It is a ship. We have a captain. Okay, we have a sergeant also, we have a commander, we have commander-in-chief, we have the admiral also. So this will be something a very bit unique. So are you ready to go on a cruise with me? Yes. Yes. Come on. Let us move on. So there are three options in which island you want to go: Hawaii, South Africa, or Las Vegas. Come on, anyone? All right, everyone loves casino. All right, let us start from the beginning. Toastmaster Navya Niti Makkar, Sergeant at Arms, invited everyone very warmly to the ship today. The guests were invited very well, and her address was absolutely fantastic. From the first day she started doing this role and coming into the EC, and I was seeing that some of the fumbling, some of the hesitation of like energy level was down, and she was not able to control her emotions. She was laughing a bit, but now the improvement I saw after 2.5 months is just fantastic. So let's give a big round of applause. Now there is something that needs to be improved because the ship has just started. And the EC term for the Toastmaster is for 6 months, and we are in just 2.5 months. So it's way to go, right? Yes or no? Yes. It's way to go. So it needs to be at the best. So how can Toastmaster Navya can improve herself? You know, number one recommendation is that to try to control your emotions. You know, when you are seeing the mission of the club, okay, you have invited the guests. Okay, so if you are leading the public speaking club, this is the right club to mentor. Now I will explain the mission of Centrality Toastmasters, and the mission of the club is to provide supportive and positive learning experience. Show some hand gestures. You know, encourage the audience, engage the audience in the way so that they get inspired from you. Next up, the presidential address. All the presidents of the Toastmasters in the world, I think I admire the most is Toastmaster Karanveer. Please give a big round of applause. From his first presidential address on 4th of January, I thought personally, it's an hour. He could never perform this because he has never did in his life. And yes, he was nervous at that time. So what to speak, and he was like closing his eyes and here and looking there. I was like, okay, I was fine. My friend is not performing at this level. But look at him. The most confident person in the Toastmasters, in Centrality Toastmasters, Toastmaster Karanveer, he's there for the ages. He's a veteran. You know, he's so much, he's inspired everyone. And I personally learned from him the way he introduces the guest and the way he tells stories that from the start and to this point. Today he told about the leadership conflict that we went there, and he also told about, you know, how to make the things happen in that. And he also told about that you have to renew your membership. And why to renew membership? You know, why you want to take the Toastmaster journey to so much now? Because it is ship. You haven't reached at the end. Have you reached at the end? Have you reached your destination? Have you reached Vegas? Right? You just started. You started from Delhi. Okay. Now you are not in a plane. Are you in a plane? What did I tell in the starting? Toastmaster is not like, it is a ship. Ship takes a time to reach its destination, right? So well done on that. And I hope every one of you to renew as quickly, because as a treasurer, I have to give it to you. All right. The guest introduction was spot on. Just the one recommendation to Toastmaster currently is that to shorten the stories that you share. Okay, so that we can introduce more of the guests. Moving on to the evaluators now. All right, just a second. All right, so we have 3 speeches today: Toastmaster Girish, Toastmaster Abhishek Singh, and Toastmaster Sanjit Bhushan. All right, so first coming on to the Toastmaster Puja, that was evaluating Toastmaster Abhishek. Toastmaster Puja started off by saying something about the speaker. Okay, so I would have to tell that how the speech evaluators will be evaluated on the basis. Number 1, if they follow the CRC approach. Now, what is this CRC approach? That is a commendation, recommendation, that is the areas of improvement where the speaker can improve himself or herself. Third thing, whether there is some value that every one of us has learned from the speaker. Any takeaways from the speech? So number 1 evaluator, that is Toastmaster Puja. Toastmaster Puja commended the speaker really well, pointed out all the recommendations, and just the one thing I was hoping that I could have sensed that the value and the takeaway was missing in that. And she could have talked on the vocal variety of the speaker and the voice modulation of the speaker. So just the one recommendation to Toastmaster Puja, and Toastmaster then comes to the Toastmaster Navya. Toastmaster Navya, she controlled her emotions really well. After that Sadhana term, I was looking at whether she will laugh or not. She didn't. She controlled herself really well. So well done on that, Toastmaster Navya. This was my personal view of point that whether she could have controlled her emotion, and she did really well. Now again the same recommendation. I was thinking that she could have talked about that what are the takeaways from Toastmasters and his speech. And I think the evaluation just ended very abruptly. Could have talked a bit, could have asked like the vocal variety of Sanjay. Was he using the tone really well? Was he constant in his speech? Or something like that. Was he using the hand gestures really well? Speech was synced with the speech, with the tone, the hands were like, so could have talked about that. Now the experienced Toastmaster Ritvik Das, the third evaluator for Toastmaster Girish. Ritvik is a seasoned Toastmaster now. Well, let me give his commendations first. Came onto the stage. Wow. Well, that vocal variety, the tone, the speed, or the control I love of Ritvik is just absolutely to the next level. Do you all agree with me? Yes. The control of Ritvik while evaluating or while giving a speech is to the just next level. Do you agree with me? Yes. Give a clap. Well, I do not have any recommendations for that, but just the one thing is that I was seeing from last few months that the evaluators are not providing the evaluation sheet to the speaker. So I encourage all the evaluators to provide the evaluation sheet with the points marked on that at which point you excel, give them the points according to the sheet, and present them with on the WhatsApp chat. Now coming on to the auxiliary role players, we have 2 debutants today, and an experienced auxiliary role player that is doing the role from quite a bit of time now. Toastmaster Pradyuman, first time he was doing the timeless role, and he was just absolutely fantastic from the start. But one thing I think we should have presented, like I will show the red card. He just said he could have shared the card on the screen. Like this is the green card, I will show at 5 minutes, or this is the card yellow, I will show at 6 minutes towards the speaker. So he could have shown, and I was thinking that report could also have been shown. So I think there was some issues with the briefing. So to the debutant, you did really well. Do not stop there and move ahead with the confidence. And I encourage you to perform this role again and with a much more confidence. So give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Pradyuman for taking this role and doing it perfectly. Now the next is Toastmaster Anmol, the language evaluator who's going on for the first time, the debutant. He explained the role really well. He introduced he, related with the theme, and he explained like, okay, the language evaluator is that when you gave the, like, you have to give a thumbs up when the word of the day comes. You have to translate if you speak in any other language to the English. And I will do, I will give my report at the end with some good usages and some not so good usages. But I was thinking, okay, some energy is less, some enthusiasm is less, you were a bit nervous, all that is what a debutant was. Nothing to worry about that. You did really well. Congratulations to you for accepting this role and performing it to the well. Just one recommendation is that keep a watch on time. You have to give a report briefly. And one more thing I like, that he was standing straight and addressing the public, addressing the audience for that. So well done on that. Now coming on to the moments of group session, it was conducted really well by our module master, Toastmaster Karanvi, and the module master in the room, Toastmaster Khare. It was done absolutely fantastically, and some of the things that I noticed that the teams were not organized very well. It was last minute changes, and they have been not informed about that. And timing was also a bit issue. So for the next session, I recommended that to give the name to all the members in pre-MOT session, so that they get to know what is all this about. All right. So right now, what was happening? We took it a bit far. The timing was not on spot, and we also took it a bit far. So yeah, overall the MOT session was conducted really well. But I think some more changes to it, and being briefed pre-meeting or like 2 days earlier. Okay, you have to do this to all the Toastmasters here. So this was from the MOT session. Now coming out to the host of the meeting, Toastmaster Shanti. First of all, give a big round of applause. And those who think my hands are hurting can just grab like this. All right. Toastmaster Shanti came on the stage and said about a different culture. We all know how we celebrate Holi, but how Holi is celebrated in different religions and different cultures. She gave us insight of that. So well done on that. And then in between, she was sharing that how a Toastmaster from this particular state celebrates in this, and what we actually do in the Holi. And all those things in that combined, she actually took it to the next level. Like, why do we celebrate Holi? I was thinking that some of the more aspects of it, and from one of the Toastmasters, I heard that Holi, it was from the prehistorical era, that Holi is celebrated in this way. So I was thinking Toastmaster Shanti to speak a bit more on the historical facts of Holi. Overall, the TMOD session was absolutely fantastic, and you are a fantastic host. And I would love that you would perform this role again in the coming meeting. So well done on that. Coming to my evaluation, I think I cannot evaluate myself. So now I want Toastmaster Karanvi to give a very brief evaluation of mine after I hand over the stage to Toastmaster Shanti. So this is all from the general evaluation segment. I hope you like that. So back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, general evaluator. I hope that all of you had a nice time, not only talking about Holi and getting up for celebrations, but also about the whole Toastmaster meeting. Let me conclude by giving a parting message that please save and use safer options of color if possible. And with this, I will hand over the stage back to the president.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shanti. I am sharing the polls on the WhatsApp group for the best speaker and the best role player. May I request all of you to vote quickly for those in the physical room if they do not have the WhatsApp with them. The nominations are speakers were distinguished Toastmaster Sabiri Girish, Toastmaster Abhishek, and we had Toastmaster Sanchit Bhushan. And for the role players, we had Toastmaster Shanti as our Toastmaster of the day, and they evaluated Toastmaster Darshini. Meanwhile, we all vote, and since we do not have a lot of time, what I'm going to do is continue with the announcement. The first announcement being, of course, about the renewal. The renewal season is on. If you haven't renewed your membership yet, do not delay it any further. If you are yet to introspect yourself and take some time to see if you are on the right path, if Toastmasters is serving you really well, or if it is not. Is it the club's fault? Is it your fault that you haven't given enough effort? Just take some time and look into it. And the another announcement which I would like to make is something very personal to me as club president. Being in the leadership conclave last week, I got a gift from distinguished Toastmaster Ranjit, the district director of District 41, for my service in the district. And while I was getting that gift, I felt a sense of responsibility of sharing that gift with someone in my club who has been serving excellently as a leader. Someone who has been there in the club, and when he is asked and given a chance to do something, he ensures it is done clearly, executed really well. Not that the person is a very veteran in Toastmasters, but he's very young, he's very energetic, and he leads with that spirit of Toastmasters. And within few months of working with him, I have sensed that leadership growth within him, and I would like to acknowledge his growth here in front of all of us. May I request Toastmaster Sanchit to come on the stage. Thank you, Toastmaster Sanchit, for your service in the club. You have been leading excellent teams from the membership squad. When he was given the duty of VP membership, he was working with the education department previously, but as soon as he was given this responsibility, he took the charge, learned everything, executed things really well, and the result of it has been that our club membership right now is 48. We have so many of varied experiences with us, and this is one of the results of Toastmaster Sanchit's hard work. Thank you very much, everyone. So here's the Toastmaster pen which I had received as a gift from distinguished Toastmaster Ranjit. Toastmasters where leaders are made, and here we all have a leader in front of us. Yes. Just give a V sign also. Yeah. Thank you very much. I hope people in the virtual audience are also applauding as I cannot see their faces there. But I hope you had a great time. Now coming to the results of this meeting. Who do you think was the best evaluator?
This was the result of the team, but not by my.
That is the true leadership spirit. It's not the leader and it's his team who does the work, but it's the quality of leader who leads really, really well. Yes. So coming to the votes, who do you think was the best speaker of this evening? The best evaluator? Was it Ritvik, Pooja, or Navya? Well, we have a consensus. It was Toastmaster Ritvik. Who do you think was the best auxiliary role player of this evening? Could have been Pradyuman also. So it is Toastmaster Vedant. Who do you think was the best speaker of this evening? Toastmaster Abhishek. Well, it was distinguished Toastmaster Sabiri Giri. Who do you think was the best role player? Well, the results are just loading and I'll be able to tell you within a second. All right, so it's Toastmaster Shanti who has won it. Congratulations, Toastmaster Shanti. For the guests who have joined us, you will be contacted one-to-one by our VP membership after the meeting is over. And thank you so much for tuning in today. And thank you all the members for coming here. May I request everyone to come on stage for a group picture, and also our virtual tech master, please take a group picture in the virtual. Can we come closer?
Good people, please also smile with everyone. Done for the virtual people.
Thank you so much. Yeah, please let us know. No. In today's phone, we have a very good technology that is kind of. Everyone say good Thank you. Thank you so much for coming here today. See you next week, next meeting.